Okay, I'm hoping that this will work. Now, I haven't spoken to Ryan in a good 2 or 3 years. Okay, so we're going back to a conversation between me and Ryan on the 9th of February 2021. And the subject of this conversation is about Smoky Saint's alleged at the time convictions for child rape. Okay, just play it, so there's no sound to this. So Ryan's passing me information that he had, knowing full well that Smoky Saint was a child sex offender. He knew this well in advance. So Ryan's passing me information that he had, knowing full well that Smoky Saint was a child sex offender. He knew this well in advance. He knew this well in advance. He knew this well in advance. Okay? Because here is Ryan. See, there's his name, Ryan, showing me details of Joshua Nathan Mark Hurdell, 2021. Okay? He knew full well what Smoky Saint was. Right? This was out of the bag. Now I'm going to add another clip in a minute, which I believe is much later on, where he, I'm going to let the video capture of a Smoky Saint hangout long after this speak for itself. This shows just what kind of character Ryan is. He will make a deal with the devil, provided he gets what he wants to satisfy, you know, his hatred for people. About Smoky Saint praise. Basically, in this, he's saying, you know, that he knows that how bad Smoky Saint is. You need to flag this aside, Ryan. It's funny because somewhere Ryan says that somebody, I think it was Smoky Saint, accusing him of being a child rapist. I think this is the one. Smoky attack as well. Somewhere I found Smoky can stew in his own excrement. Says, I totally agree. Smoky can stew in his own excrement. So I press the wrong button. It's turned into bullet in the skull. You know, it does. He was a piece of shit. I'm talking about Smoky. But somewhere I found another one of these video catches, because I knew how devious Ryan was, because Ryan was friendly with Andy and Bill long before 2016, because I've got videos and videos all over the place. I'm going through this, but I'm making my point here. I'm going to add another video in a second that speaks for itself how double-minded and devious Ryan actually is. Speaks for itself how double-minded and devious Ryan actually is. Okay, the next clip that I'm going to add to this expose of this lying rat, this devious individual, Ryan Fleur, whatever the hell he calls himself, is from a video capture of a Smoky Saint hangout, and I've titled it Ryan Inciting and Encouraging Violence Against Bill and Andy and Others. Ryan Inciting and Encouraging Violence Against Bill and Andy and Others. Ryan Inciting and Encouraging Violence Against Bill and Andy and Others. It was the 20th accessed. I don't know what that means. So I'll go for the earlier date, but because it's much later. This is like a year or so later, much later, where, you know, literally Ryan has jumped ship and embraced the person that he was exposing just the year before as a child rapist. So this shows his character, you know. So we go for the earlier date, 20th of June 2022 at 18:03:22. Okay, so on with the video, I'm going to do a voiceover walkthrough of this video capture, if I can, with this software. Okay, so as I said, I video captured this on my laptop, and that's why the image is very blurred. Unfortunately, the hard drive on the little laptop I had at the time wasn't capable of giving much quality, but the most important part here is the sound quality. I believe this was on Smokey's channel. It was Smokey's, one of his hangouts in 2022, one of many. I'm still hunting more down, so let's continue on. So you've got Ryan LaFleur in here inciting hatred, you'll see for yourself, towards Bill, Andy and others, and it's quite shocking. So you've got Ryan LaFleur in here inciting hatred, you'll see for yourself, towards Bill, Andy and others, and it's quite shocking. So first off, let's just grab the bits that were relevant.
I want to know why that video, how that video, if it was fake, I want to know how it was fake.
It is fake. It is fake.
Yes, I want to know that, mate.
Shut up and listen, Jason.
Okay, all right. I want to know. This is what I've really been going to do.
Listen, you gotta listen.
I want to listen. I really want to hear.
Right, they're talking about the video clip only that I supplied Bill with at the express wishes of my wife, who was totally disgusted with Ryan for inciting such hatred and providing Smokey Saint with all the information, which this clip proves, because Smokey Saint himself says in this clip, Ryan has Bill's ear, right? So he's passing information, he's a little spy, okay?
Stop talking, let it speak, because then you talk and then you can't hear.
Bill Cuthbert, Saku Kim, or Thick Shades, and Andy Jack, who has various different channels, one of them is Oxfordshire made, have for years used video editing and voice editing software to make people say things that they didn't really say, by grabbing screenshots of people or grabbing someone's video to make them say that. One of their favorite tactics is when they've been caught out of all the horrible things that they do, is to make a video trying to call someone a pedophile. This is not the first time they tried to do this to me. In fact, they did this earlier this year. For over a decade.
That's a jailable offense, man. I'm sorry. That is very
exactly. For over a decade, they did this to a friend of mine that I'll only refer to by his first name.
He goes on to do this without my permission. I told him not to mention my name, not to mention anything, because at this time, Ryan, as you've just seen, was on my Skype friends list. And a piece report had been made. I think it was before lockdown. Still, you can confirm this when it was. It was a long time ago. Now, 3 years, maybe 3, 4, I can't remember. And we've all stuck to that. But Ryan, as he did on Eric's channel, keeps bringing up the past, which has been forgiven and forgotten.
His name's David in the United Kingdom.
And
he had to go to the police because it was so bad.
Yeah, well, anyway, I'm going to skip some of that because you don't really need to know about this because it's just dragging up the shit. But what basically, I'm going to carry on a bit, all right? Basically, what Ryan is saying is the clip that Bill showed of Ryan making a confession is fake and generated by deep fakes, which is total bullshit because I will refute that in a few minutes.
Can I just talk?
Hold on,
What
Jason,
you said
I
is
am
the
not
truth.
done.
We tried to
I'm
believe.
done.
Hang on. If what you said is the truth, we tried to believe. Jason. I'm going after those people. Shut up. Can you shut up, Jason? Shut up, Jason. I'm talking to someone. Shut up. Shut up.
On this, that I am slowly.
You can ruin someone's life, mate. And get murdered. They can get you murdered. All sorts of things, mate. If people do what they put up, you can get murdered.
You don't need to tell me, but as I said, the one that's been reviving this and trying to reignite this fire for his own, deranged amusement is Ryan LaFleur. The one that's been reviving this and trying to reignite this fire for his own, deranged amusement is Ryan LaFleur. Nobody else, just Ryan. And he's not stopping. He's got no remorse. Moving on.
I'm aware, and they don't care.
Dozens that they have done. In fact, they've done it to me. So
we're going to get some people to go over there and have a word on.
For me, it's just painful to listen to.
Claiming that they are the real.
Oh God, this is hard. I'll post the full version of this so you can listen to it. It's just painful to listen to.
We're going to get some people to go over there and have a word on. Just tell them I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit if the police are listening to this. I don't care if you send it to the police. The police know me here, mate. And I'll tell you right now. Tell them. If they keep going on making deep fake videos and lies about people, they're going to get a kiss one day from some people who are going to want to step into their house and have a cup of tea with them.
Put the kettle on, boys. Anyway, and I'll explain it in a minute. Ryan, can you put your camera on? I'll tell you why. The police are going to be. The police are going to be here in a few hours at 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock.
Yeah.
Hold on. 10 o'clock, north to iron. So that'll be what my time. One in the morning right now. 1:08 after 1 in the morning.
7. About 3 hours from now. 1, 2, 3, about 3 o'clock in the morning. There you go, right, Ryan. I've got a GoPro on you. All I need you to do is just say who you are, right? So I can show this to the police. Who you are and what Bill has threatened you with, what we spoke about the other day. Yeah? Can you do that?
I can do that.
Good, man. Thank you. So it is 7:09 on the 23rd of the 6th, 2020, and you are Ryan LaFleur. Is that correct? Have I pronounced that correctly? From where? Louisiana. Okay, Ryan. Just basically say to the camera what you told me the other day about Bill basically trying to blackmail you.
William Matthew Pervert, or as he's known online among many of his other aliases, Minister of Reconciliation, had threatened to make videos about me calling me a pedophile and accusing me of child molestation, predicated on an incident that happened when I was about 10 years of age. He called me a pedophile and accusing me of child molestation, predicated on an incident that happened when I was about 10 years of age. Of course, it is the way in which he is describing it is not how that incident happened, and he is threatening to release videos effectively calling me a pedophile.
Okay. He was effectively, right. And he's...
I put him in confidence of an incident that happened when I was about 10 to 11 years old or so. Put him in confidence of an incident that happened when I was about 10 to 11 years old or so.
Yeah.
And of course, I've come to understand now that every single one of my conversations with him he recorded
Yeah.
And is threatening to either release that footage or to make a video telling that account. I also happen to know that he apparently has told other people about this incident, which was threatening confidence.
So, I've proved that Ryan was actually lying his arse off by claiming that the clip that I provided Bill with was a deep fake. It wasn't. And, believe it or not, I'm not enjoying this because I'd rather just leave it alone. But unfortunately, as everybody knows, Eric definitely knows, Ryan's not going to leave this alone and just go away quietly. And I suppose it makes it easier for me knowing what a devious, vindictive, spiteful, and totally dishonest individual Ryan is. I suppose it makes it easier for me knowing what a devious, vindictive, spiteful, and totally dishonest individual Ryan is. Makes it a lot easier, but the thing is, last night he literally doxed my former company, which still to this day leads straight to my house. If you type in the name of my company, he literally doxed my former company. He literally doxed my former company. He literally doxed my former company, which still to this day leads straight to my house. If you type in the name of my company, there's still adverts out there that I can't remove on various websites, advertising sites that provide my address. So Ryan's playing a very dangerous game just to satisfy his own burning desire to be vindictive toward Bill. Ryan's playing a very dangerous game just to satisfy his own, burning desire to be vindictive toward Bill. I mean, this is how it all started. Ryan came to me making claims that he was being blackmailed by Bill, and I've spoken to Bill about this and all of this, and Bill has told me that he had no prior knowledge to this. So Ryan was lying. It was just, and it's very odd how Ryan sort of tried to, create this trap for Bill and fell into his own trap. I mean, this is how it all started. Ryan came to me making claims that he was being blackmailed by Bill, and I've spoken to Bill about this and all of this, and Bill has told me that he had no prior knowledge to this. So Ryan was lying. I mean, this is how it all started. Ryan came to me making claims that he was being blackmailed by Bill, and I've spoken to Bill about this and all of this, and Bill has told me that he had no prior knowledge to this. So Ryan was lying. It was just, and it's very odd how Ryan sort of tried to, create this trap for Bill and fell into his own trap. To be honest with you, Ryan, I was the worst person you could have told this to, because I hate that kind of thing so much. And of course, I did report this to the police. I've got recordings of the police conversations. I won't mention the police officer's name because there could be an ongoing investigation for all I know. And this was a number of years ago. But the police officer literally came to my house, and I can assure you, Ryan, he wasn't here investigating Bill. There was nothing to investigate Bill for. And I can assure you, Ryan, he wasn't here investigating Bill. There was nothing to investigate Bill for. And I can assure you, Ryan, he wasn't here investigating Bill. There was nothing to investigate Bill for. But there was every reason to investigate you. And the problem now, you see, right, is after this recording, this confession, you actively, willfully went into and befriended a convicted sex offender, knowing full well, and used, your knowledge of not only what had gone on for me as a bludgeoning tool, but you used it to your own purpose at my expense, of course, thinking nothing of the problem that you'd reignite or could reignite between me, Bill, and Andy. Thinking nothing of the problem that you'd reignite or could reignite between me, Bill, and others. As long as you got what you want. So anyway, this is a recording on a dictaphone, because when Ryan and I were talking, and he started to bring up the subject of making these allegations against Bill that he's been blackmailed, I thought this is interesting, and naturally I put on my dictaphone and I thought I better record this. It's like I know how. I mean, I've got so many recordings of Ryan because he is such a deviant, and the man just cannot stop lying. So I mean, I've got so many recordings of Ryan because he's such a deviant, and the man just cannot stop lying. So I've tried to stop you, Ryan, and you just carry on unabated. So here it is. This is from the dictaphone. I think it was a couple of days before the video for the police. You shouldn't feel guilty. I mean, I don't want to probe you any further about all of this.
Well, I'm willing to tell you, Dave. When I was about, I believe I was 10 or 11.
Yeah.
I was taken to my aunt's house. Some friends of hers wanted their son in the bedroom where I was watching a movie, adjacent to where I was. Now, strangely, they sat him next to me and then began to partially undress him, I presume, for whatever reason. And my repeated statements, do I need to leave the room, or I'm trying to engage with my aunt to see if she wanted me to leave, were totally ignored.
That is seriously disturbing, folks. Seriously disturbing.
He was left sitting there, half naked, adjacent to me. I was extremely uncomfortable with it because, after all, he just left like that. I think the parents intended it to do something or other. They just left it that way. And one thing led to another. I knew I probably should not do it, but I did anyway. And I touched it.
Right. I need to leave it there for a minute. The problem I've got here is if I play any more of this, it could jeopardise any investigation that's going on out there, because it's so screwed up. But the problem is, Ryan, if you're going to go around stirring up hatred and trying to harm people, they're going to fire back. And I've been warning you, Ryan, for the last at least week to just quit and leave it alone, and you won't. So you've left me no choice, because you're attacking everybody, right? And you're trying to hurt an awful lot of people. You're trying to incite hatred and stir up Andy. You're trying to piss Bill off and everybody else, and we're just not going to put up with it anymore, right? So I'm going to end it there, folks. I think this proves the point, because you're attacking everybody, right? And you're trying to hurt an awful lot of people. You're trying to incite hatred and stir up Andy. You're trying to piss Bill off and everybody else, and we're just not going to put up with it anymore, right? So I'm going to end it there, folks. I think this proves the point that Bill isn't lying about it. That Bill isn't about stuff. And Ryan's got no remorse at all. All he's got is hatred in him. Ryan's got no remorse at all. All he's got is hatred in him. And he just wants to destroy it. He's a wrecking ball. And that's what, that's the size of it. Anyway, there you are, folks. Ryan, if you continue on, I'm going to release more damning videos and voice recordings I've got of you. Ryan, if you continue on, I'm going to release more damning videos and voice recordings I've got of you. Making threats. I mean, damn, Ryan, you tried to get my friend Rob Reed in the Trump. You tried to get my friend Rob Reed in the Trump.